the start of practice.
Good morning. Let me begin by reading a Dharma verse from the chapter Faith and Dedication. The founding master Sotaesan said, "When ordinary people are inspired to pursue spiritual growth, their initial belief may seem strong enough to pierce the sky. However, this fervor often fades with time. Life changes, such as gaining or losing power, or shifts in family harmony, can also alter one's faith. True spiritual progress comes from continually examining one's belief, especially during these pivotal moments." Have you ever hesitated to meditate or attend Dharma services? Yes? As the Dharma verse indicates, we are vulnerable to external influences. If these influences grow stronger, one might eventually abandon their practice in the community altogether. You could find yourself drifting away. Sotaesan compared practitioners who abandon their spiritual community at the first hurdle to a blind person who, miraculously finding a doorknob, angrily turns away after stumbling on the threshold. Having spent considerable time in one Buddhist communities myself, I've observed various people. At times, their behavior reminds me of Sotaesan's analogy, the blind person who, angered by a minor setback, abandons a potentially life-changing path. What a missed opportunity. To maintain our practice despite changing circumstances, we need one crucial element. Do you know what that is? Faith. Faith, it's so important that it marks one of the Dharma stages in a practitioner's journey, and it determines whether their practice is truly progressing or not. A key strength of one Buddhist teachings is their clear framework for practitioners to gauge their spiritual progress. This framework, known as Dharma stages, consists of 6 levels: beginner's stage, special faith, battle between Dharma and Mara, Dharma strong and Mara defeated, beyond household, and greatly enlightened Tathagata. In my previous talk, I explained the first stage, the beginner's stage. To briefly review, this stage is the gateway to Buddha's teachings. It's when a practitioner first connects with the world of Buddha. Without this initial Dharma affinity, it's challenging to walk on the spiritual path. As practitioners progress through the beginner's stage, they eventually confront a question. Are they willing to let go of their existing value system and embrace that of the Buddha? Authentic practice begins with faith. This morning, I'll focus on this matter. Faith or belief. We often talk about these concepts, right? But what do they truly mean? I have one vivid memory from my childhood when I was about 5 years old. I have one brother, and I visited our uncle's home in the countryside. We played outdoors, oblivious to the falling darkness. Suddenly, we found ourselves in an unfamiliar place in dark. Fears crept in. On the verge of tears, I felt relief when my brother held my hand and began searching for our way back home. His touch reassured me that we'd be fine. Looking back, my brother was also just a child, only 2 years older than me. Yet at that time, his presence was everything to me. I consider myself fortunate to have such a wonderful brother. He's truly a good and dependable person. When you find someone truly reliable, you can genuinely relax, feel at ease, and let the person guide you. However, we don't equate reliance with faith. Faith carries a deeper meaning than that. Faith involves believing in something beyond empirical evidence or logical understanding. Master Sotaesan emphasized that faith serves as the vessel that holds the Dharma, the driving force that resolves all questions, and the foundation for observing all precepts. Let's examine each aspect to understand faith better. First of all, faith serves as a vessel that holds Buddha's teachings. Without faith, we cannot wholeheartedly embrace the profound truths of the universe. There are two fundamental truths in the universe: the truth of no beginning and no ending, and the truth of causality. Paradoxically, both may hinder one's spiritual progress if not properly understood. If you struggle to believe in the concept of eternity, you might find yourself stuck wrestling with the idea. However, if you embrace this teaching with faith, you can advance in your practice and find greater enjoyment in this life. Consider Venerable Myeongtawonim, our retired Dharma teacher, as an example. She is sitting behind one gentleman over there. Her deep faith in the teachings fuels her continuous learning, even in retirement. She diligently pursues her English studies and faithfully copies one Buddhist scriptures. Why? I asked her once. She said she wants to return to this country in her next life to spread the Dharma freely in English. Similarly, my mother began learning English at 70 and recently took a painting class. She's so enjoying these classes, and I know she's also considering her future lifetimes. We are spiritual beings traveling from one lifetime to the next. How about the law of causality? In the world, we witness all sorts of unjust and unequal events. Bad things can happen to good people. Many occurrences might suggest that principle of cause and effect doesn't apply to this world. However, Buddha stated that if there is one truth, it's the law of causality. The choice is yours. Will you follow Buddha's teachings with faith? The Buddhist principle advises accepting the consequences of past actions without seeking retribution. Instead, focus on cultivating positive actions in the present moment. I alone planted the seeds I've reaped, and I alone am planting future seeds for myself. With faith, you can proceed to the practice of questioning. Faith acts as a driving force to resolve spiritual inquiries. The practice of questioning with faith differs from doubt that denies the teaching itself. When you have faith, your questions shift from, is this scientifically proven? To, how can I deepen my practice to better understand this teaching? In other words, with faith, you don't question the authenticity of the teaching itself, Instead, you cultivate a genuine desire to understand its underlying reasons. So, do you have faith in the Dharma? Moreover, faith forms the foundation for observing precepts. As you advance in your practice, you receive a second set of 10 precepts in the stage of special faith. These precepts serve as guidelines to protect your mind and body, and as a means to maintain mental calmness. Why? By following precepts such as do not associate with the wrong kind of people or do not speak ill of others, we manage our environment, preventing potential disturbances to our mind at their source. Consider the various ways to maintain a calm mind. You can either attempt to soothe your mind after encountering sensory stimuli, or you can proactively avoid environment that trigger disturbances. Often the sources of these disturbances are preventable. This is why Master Sotaesan emphasized maintaining mental tranquility through making the right choices. This approach cuts off the root causes of disturbances. For example, having a refreshing morning meditation starts with regulating your activities from the previous day, getting enough sleep, regulating food intake, and moderating thought consumption all significantly influence the quality of meditation practice. By adhering to precepts, we can simplify our lives and reduce our worries and anxieties. So believing in the Dharma transcends mere intellectual understanding. It's about actively living it in your daily life. True faith manifests through putting your beliefs into practice. This might involve daily prayer and regular attendance at Dharma services. It could mean practicing meditation every day and examining your mind through journaling. Such active engagement embodies faith, and it's how we genuinely take refuge in the Dharma. At its core, faith is about allowing beliefs to take root within us. It's like transplanting our life from worldly standard to spiritual values. In fact, we can gauge a person's faith by examining what they truly value. In mundane life, fame, wealth, physical comfort often form the basis of happiness. Spiritual values, however, involve seeking the source of our happiness through inner resources rather than external physical elements. So when we recognize the value of spirituality, our standards for happiness and success transform. Consider a young pianist who initially dreamed of becoming famous, earning renown, and traveling the world freely. Through her mentor's guidance, she discovered the nobility of her spirit, and her life's goal changed. Now she aspires to be a pianist who touches people's hearts and brings them peace of mind. Many successful individuals are guided by strong beliefs. Oprah Winfrey and Albert Einstein, two influential figures, shared powerful insights that became guiding lights for their remarkable lives. Oprah Winfrey's mantra is, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." Einstein proclaimed, "Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world." With unwavering conviction, Oprah and Einstein persevered through countless challenges, ultimately achieving extraordinary success in their respective fields. The same principle applies in spiritual communities. Faith is a great asset that enables one to lead a successful spiritual life. And one's level of faith determines the extent of progress one can achieve. Our great teachers, Master Chongsan and Master Taesan, exemplifies how faith can lead one's life towards becoming a Buddha. The lay member Kisanim, for whom we held weekly deliverance services, exemplifies how faith can lead to a fulfilling life. To conclude, let me share a story about discovering a water source. Imagine you need to locate a fountain. What to be your first step? You want to find a fountain. What to be the first step? Naturally, you need to find the most promising spot and start digging, right? What if you don't discover any signs of water there? I would try another location and dig there. But if that spot isn't promising either, what would you do next? Would you keep changing locations? During my time at the North Carolina temple, several legendary stories circulated. One recounted how they discovered a water source while constructing their Dharma hall. Long story short, when everyone doubted the project's success, only Reverend Wonggong, the head Kyomunim, insisted on continuing to dig in the same spot. The result? They found a fountain, which has since become their primary water source. To discover water, we must dig persistently in one spot to reach the fountain's source. Likewise, to find the true Dharma, you must seek it with unwavering dedication. One Buddhism is not the only spiritual path to enlightenment. If you feel this isn't the right place for you, it is okay to explore elsewhere. You may find a spiritual community that's a better fit. However, what if you discover that new place isn't the right place for you either? Would you leave again? Then this pattern becomes problematic. You'll struggle to take even the first step in your practice. Your practice won't take you anywhere. This morning, we are gathered here, right? So you have your one foot here in this community, but where is your other foot? Are any of you still searching for a better place? You might believe there is significantly better spiritual path elsewhere. But you know what? This may or may not be true. So if you found one Dharma temple to be a genuine spiritual community, stay and begin your practice. Even if you don't fully understand or appreciate every aspect of the community, as long as you believe in Master Sotaesan's teachings, remain here and persevere in your practice. This wholehearted commitment is what we call special faith. Special faith will guide you to commit to the teachings and apply them to your daily life until you discover the wellspring of Dharma for yourself. Your thoughts, work, beliefs, and dedication remain unwavering, unswayed by any influences. I believe you value your spiritual path and want to grow. Dharma affinities is such a valuable connection among many other human relationships. Through practicing faith, we deepen these connections. So shall we practice together? Thank you.